Hello everyone, it's WhisperAudios and welcome back to another monthly favourites video. And I know I have not done these in quite some time simply because I've just been really busy, and also I had nowhere to record them anymore. So this is the first one in the new studio. Which I'm really excited about, because I really like doing the monthly favorites because it gives me a chance to make like a chit chat kind of ASMR video, which are my favorite ones to do. And also I really like sharing products and things that I've found for myself that I've been enjoying with you guys as well. And I just miss that, and I'm just so thankful to everyone who made this studio possible, and I can get back to making the monthly favourites again. So I'll probably be a little bit rusty and can't remember what the structure of these are, but thankfully I have my phone. So we're not sharing the favourite film, not sharing the favourite song anymore. We're doing a favourite film instead because there was copyright issues on the songs when I used to share them. So I used to share them like on my phone, like binaurally. But of course, YouTube doesn't let you do that and demonetizes your video. So instead, I'm going to talk about the films that I've seen, and which one was my favourite. So my favourite film. Then I'll be sharing my favourite ASM artist for the month, my favourite thing, and my favourite cosmetic too. And there have been so many different ASM artists, so many different products, so many different films that I've seen since I did my last monthly favourites video. I'm just going to talk about the films firstly that I've seen in a space of like a month. So maybe from a few months back, I've got a list of ones I really want to talk about. And in terms of ASM artists, I've been building up a list of some really great ones that I've found myself, or people have been recommending their channels to me. So I'll be sharing those through the next couple of months instead of sharing them all now. Cosmetics wise, again, I've been using so many different amazing products recently, but again, I'll just make sure I stagger them out over the next couple of months rather than bombarding you with so much information. And as always, this is going to be a soft spoken kind of mixture of soft spoken and whispering, mostly soft speaking actually. But let me know what your preference is, because I know a lot of people prefer like soft speaking over whisper and then whisper over soft speaking. For me, I like the soft speaking, but I don't mind doing a whisper now and then. You may also hear my belly. I've just eaten my lunch, which was probably a mistake on my behalf because normally, ASM artists out there, do you get this? Whenever you eat, your belly just becomes like the most loud thing in the whole entire world, and especially when you're listening out for every single sound, your belly just sounds like the Balrog's like lair. And you're just like, no, why didn't I wait to film? But I'm on a bit of a tight deadline today, so I'm going to have to pull my waistband up and just hope for the best that it doesn't gurgle away in the background. But if it does, then you may laugh at me in the comments. I'll try and cut out as many as I can, but it might be there, it might not. Anyway, we'll move on to the favourite film now. So if I list out the ones that I've seen, starting with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. then I saw Crawl, then I saw It, then I saw Hustlers, and Ad Astra. So I talk about each one individually, like my favourite bits about the film, and then my not so favourite bits about the film. So Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, probably the most un-Tarantino film I've ever seen. It was very mature for Tarantino. It was very different for him, for sure. Basically, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood explores the alternate version, I guess, without spoiling it, alternate version of the Sharon Tate murders, if you're familiar with that. Charles Manson and his cult murdered Sharon Tate while she was about 9 months pregnant, I think, at their home in Los Angeles. And it was one of the most famous, Charles Manson killings, and one of the most famous murders in our modern times. And Tarantino explores that historic event, but more as a background kind of storyline that weaves through it. We actually follow the storyline of Rick Dalton, I want to say that his name is, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, and his stunt double, he's played by Brad Pitt, but I forget his character name. So anyway, we follow this life of Leonardo DiCaprio's character, who's this struggling actor, and he's a has-been, and all of that. And we're in like the 60s, Los Angeles, and we're just following basically this character's journey. There isn't so much of a storyline, so to say, there's not much of like a plot. It's just like a homage to the era and the time of LA in the 60s, and you really, really feel that. Like, I was transported to LA in the 60s, and I really felt like I was there. All the production design, the costumes, the cars, the music was all perfect, and it was all sublime. And I really, really loved it, because I've been to LA twice, and I could really identify that kind of nostalgia and that kind of feeling that Tarantino must have got when he was a little kid growing up there, and it really came through in heaps, and I really, really enjoyed that. Acting was phenomenal, brilliant. Obviously Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt are just like phenomenal, and Margot Robbie as Sharon Tate, you couldn't have cast a better person. Overall, I thought that the film was really like great, for want of a better word. It really transported me back. Even though the plot I felt was lacking a little bit, it was more of like a sequence of events, I would say. It was still enjoyable, and the finale, the last 20 minutes, was mind-blowing. It was like, oh my god, is this really happening? But it was pure Tarantino, and it was quintessentially Tarantino, and I enjoyed it. So the next film I saw was Crawl, and Crawl is a film about a giant alligator which gets stuck underneath a family home in Florida when they've had a huge hurricane, and the girl, a girl, goes to try and save her dad, who's been like knocked out underneath his basement, under the crawl space under the house. She goes to rescue him from this giant crocodile, alligator, whatever. I went in with pretty low expectations, because it was, for me, it's like a monster movie, like a, giant alligator sort of thing. But I ended up really enjoying it, and obviously it's like, well, it's probably not silly, because you get like huge crocs and huge alligators out in Florida and all different parts of the world, and really, it's like, yeah, that could really happen. But obviously, the crocs are like super smart or like really devious, and they know how to like pin you into a corner and stuff. So that's probably the unrealistic part of it. But I actually really liked it. All like the practical elements and the special effects and all of that was really great. The acting was actually not that bad. And overall, it was just like a really fun horror kind of movie thriller thing. And yeah, I thought it was actually pretty decent. I was hooked all the way throughout, and there wasn't a stupid ending either. I was actually quite satisfied with the ending, so that was good. Next, I saw It Chapter 2, where the kids from It Chapter 1 all grown up and they return to Derry to kill it once and for all because the murders are starting up again. So, It Chapter 1 with the kids. Loved it, thought it was amazing. I've watched it since on DVD, and it's a really good adaptation of the book It by Stephen King, which I'm currently reading at the moment. So chapter 2 stars Jessica Chastain. Who else? I've had a mind blank. Bill Hader. Oh my goodness, what's his name? Oh my goodness, he's like one of my favourite actors. This is so annoying. I've got a mind blank. What is his name? He's Hammy all the time. He was in Filth. James McAvoy. James McAvoy. And they go back to Derry and they go to kill the clown once and for all. I absolutely loved this film. Parts of it I found frustrating and I found a little bit silly in places, but the last kind of 20 minutes, the setup and the last 20 minutes were my favourite. And the ending of It Chapter 2 was so emotional. I'm trying not to get emotional thinking about it now, but I actually cried at the end of it. It was just because it deals with the loss of friends and it deals with the loss of your childhood and growing up. And these kids, now adults, really clung together in their time of need and really bonded over something so terrible, even though it's a clown. Let's just face it, it's a clown, but it personifies all of our fears and all of our inside turmoil. It is our fears. It's our fear of like things we find scary, things that we don't want to lose, and all of that. And it really, really hit a personal note in me personally because I lost one of my best friends when he was 17, when we were all 17. And that hit us as a friendship group so hard. And those themes in that film and those feelings that I had were almost like ripped out of me and put onto screen, and I could see my feelings projected onto the screen. And at the end, I really just couldn't help myself, and the tears were just streaming down my face. And what made it worse was I was actually seeing the film with my friends that were also my deceased friends as well. We'd all grown up together and we all spent a lot of time together, and we went to see it with them. So I like turned to them and I looked at them and I was just like, oh my god, and I know that they were feeling that too, because it was just such an emotional, so emotional. But yeah, I really enjoyed It Chapter 2, and I think I heard somewhere that they're releasing both films back to back on DVD, which you can watch them as all like one long film, which will be really interesting to watch. And I'm reading the book at the moment, and apart from a few different things, it's actually pretty accurate to the book. And yeah, I'm really enjoying that too. So the next film I watched was Hustlers, starring Jennifer Lopez, Constant Wu, and I can't think of the other girl's name. But anyway, oh my god, as soon as I saw this trailer, I was like, I have to go and see this film. This is my kind of film. It's my guilty pleasure film for sure. Like, in another life, I so would have been like a hustler. I so would have been like a booty wielding, pole dancing hustler. Oh my god, I can't believe I just said that. But I don't know. Oh, what's her name? Cardi B. Cardi B is in it. And oh my god, she's so amazing in it. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent, but it was just so fun, and it's based on a true story of these characters. I don't know their real names, but basically, these like group of strippers, like their life is going great, and they're like making loads of money in the strip club, but the financial crisis, the Wall Street crash, like in 2008, I want to say. I can't remember when it was, but that really hit the adult entertainment industry really hard, and they had to go and work like normal jobs, and they were already really struggling. So when the economy picked back up again, they're obviously a little bit older. Some of them have kids, and they can't really go into like stripping too much anymore. So what they do is they become like not escorts in a way, but they kind of lure men from bars to like the club, and then they get them drunk, and I think they drug them as well. And they take their credit card and they just max out their credit card by like depositing money into their account, sort of thing. So they're basically just like stealing from these rich men. But obviously, it all goes terribly wrong, and they get found out. And it's the story of like friendships formed, bonds formed, and you know the social stigma around being a stripper and all of that kind of stuff. Jennifer Lopez is like the hottest woman I've ever seen. Like, she is phenomenal. Her body is phenomenal. She just looks just brilliant. Like, I totally believed that she was like this really famous, like out there kind of stripper. Like, she made pole dancing look easy. I heard somewhere that she spent like 6 months training for the role and stuff like that, and it was just amazing. The cast, Constance Wu, oh my god, she was just, the acting was amazing. Direction was amazing. There were like seamless shots where the camera didn't cut and we're following the characters all through the club and in a car and all around. Brilliant camera work. Brilliant direction in terms of like the actors and stuff like that. Amazing. Like, you really, really felt for these characters and you believed in these characters as well. There were like fresh tears running and all of that. And I also loved like the editing choices as well. So there's like a bit where one of the characters has a wire on them, and you hear that you're in the scene with them, but the dialogue is actually from the wire itself. So instead of being super crisp, sharp sound, you've actually got like the muffled ruffling of a wire on the person. I just thought that's brilliant. And other little choices like that were really good as well. I think it's a female director as well, which is really good. Cardi B has to be my favourite character of all time in the film. She just makes me die with laughter. She's just so sassy, and she's just so, like, I don't know, fun, I think I would say. Yeah, she's great in it. She kind of is only in it for like 5 minutes at the beginning, and then you don't see her again, but it's worth it. She's totally worth it. And there was like some slow bits here and there, but overall I really enjoyed it, and I was like glued to the screen. Again, it wasn't like a super stupid ending either, and it resolved itself really nicely, and I really, really liked that too. So Hustlers, yeah, really, really good film. I really enjoyed it. My battery has died, which is not good, but I think I can remember my last film. So, the last film that I saw was Ad Astra, starring Brad Pitt. And this is a story about a guy who is an astronaut. His dad's an astronaut. His dad has left like 30 years prior to go on this super top secret classified mission to the outer regions of our solar system to find intelligent life. But he goes rogue and nobody can contact him, and part of his operation, his like mission, accidentally causes this surge, which causes electromagnetism or something like that to pulse out in space, and then eventually it hits Earth and all its other colonies on the Moon and on Mars, and it knocks out their technology, and it knocks out power and stuff like that. And obviously, on Earth, in that it's a global crisis and people are dying and blah blah blah. So Brad Pitt is called in to save the day, go and talk to his dad and make him stop whatever he's doing. And that's pretty much it. So, I mean, the film, I went in with really high expectations. I heard a lot of good things, a lot of good reviews, but for me, it felt so flat and it was so boring. Like, I hate saying that about films, but I literally was just getting comfortable on my cinema seat and I was thinking, when is this going to end? There wasn't really any sort of driving force, and it was quite art housey. I don't know, it just felt like it needed something more. But I appreciate that it's an inward reflection of life, and it was quite a retrospective look at humanity and the beauty of our world, and looking to the stars and wondering, what it has life in store for us. I really loved the visuals. I thought they were amazing and perfect. The fact that we had started to colonize the moon and pretty much just turn it into a giant shopping mall, pretty much, was really interesting. And the fact that we had gone to Mars and basically turned that into the same as well. It's just we're world eaters and world consumers, and that really resonated and came across in the film, which that was the bit I kind of liked. The end, though, I was like, oh my god. And I just couldn't get over the fact that Tommy Lee Jones, who plays Brad Pitt's dad, is looking for intelligent life, aliens, and I just couldn't help but thinking that, dude, you found intelligent life in Men in Black. You've just been neuralized and you can't remember it. That's just all I thought. And Liv Tyler, bless her, she had like 5 seconds of screen time and played like the grieving wife. And again, it's the, my husband's gone into space sort of thing, like it's an Armageddon thing. My husband's gone into space, but I've lost him sort of thing. But yeah, I felt like it was like some of the casting choices kind of retread old ground, and it wasn't necessarily anything new. I think it wanted to be Interstellar, and it wanted to be Gravity without wanting or intending to be either, if that makes any sense. But yeah, not my favourite film ever. So out of all of them, it's a really tough choice between it and Hustlers, because I enjoyed those films a lot. But if I'm going to choose, I am going to choose Hustlers as my favourite film for September, because I just loved every minute of it, and I thought the direction, the camera work, and all of that was just brilliant, and it all kind of meshed together, and I had a whale of a time watching that film, and I would buy it on DVD. So Hustlers is my favourite film of September. So I need to go and get my charger for my phone, because otherwise I won't be able to tell you what my favourite ASMR artist is, because I can't remember how to pronounce her name. I do know what my favourite cosmetic is, because it's sitting right next to me. So if you'll just give me 5 seconds, I'll go and get my charger and then we'll be right back. Okay, so my phone is on charge. Oh, it doesn't have a long enough cable. It's like sitting on my lap at the moment. It's proper dead. so you'll probably hear the vibration of it coming on in a minute. But we'll do the favourite cosmetic whilst we're waiting for that to charge. So, favourite cosmetic of this month is a company called Face Theory, and hopefully by the time I've released this this video, you would have seen the Hannah Face Theory facial video, which I uploaded a couple of Sundays ago, hopefully, if all goes to plan. And in that video, we did a facial. Well, I did a facial on Hannah de Georgis, the author, and I was using the Face Theory products. Now, these products were sent to me for free by Face Theory, kindly, and since that video, I have been using them non-stop. And they were sent to me like quite a while ago, actually. So I've actually run out of the cleanser, and I'm running out of the eye cream, and I think it's the body cream. I don't know which one it is. So I've been using them pretty solidly for like, I would say, the past 2 months. So I've had a really good time for them to work on my skin, and for me to actually give you a proper, like, not a review on them, but to actually tell you which of those products were my favourite. Belly. So the cleanser that I use, the vitamin C cleanser, the orange one, that's completely gone now. I actually really loved that cleanser, and I was going to have it as my favourite product, but I started using the scrub, which I didn't show you on the facial because the guys over at Skin Theory, Face Theory, not Skin Theory, over at Face Theory said that their products aren't really meant to be intended as a full skincare regime. You only need like 1 or 2 products to work in tandem with each other. And at first I thought, yeah, right, like whatever. You can cleanse, tone, moisturize, serum, all of that. But as I was using the products in that order, so I'd cleanse, tone, moisturize, eye cream, all of that, I found my skin becoming quite clogged and quite, it would break out. So I scaled it down and I scaled it down, and I ended up just using a cleanser and an eye cream every day. Literally just that, and a little bit of moisturizer, but sometimes I found I didn't even need it. So the cleanser was really good and I really loved it, but I've been using this glycolic acid face and body scrub, which looks like this. I'll show you. It's all gross around the lid. Oh, you probably can't see it. It's like a gelatinous goo. And it's got like walnut shells in it. And I was quite scared to use this at first because I thought it would be too harsh on my skin because it's an exfoliator, and I thought, oh, I mustn't use that every day because it will dry my skin out and it will make my skin red and all of that. But I have been using this every single morning and my skin is so clear and so like radiant. I used to get like dry patches here and sometimes on my like head, completely gone. I would also use a scrub once a week, but I found I don't even need to do like a manual exfoliation or anything like that. This just sorts it out completely. I no longer have combination skin, like it's just normal. I have normal skin. It's just gotten rid of my combination skin. It's amazing, and it doesn't dry out your skin. It just makes your skin feel just really just resurfaced, so to say, and it's gentle enough to use every day as well. So I just use it in the morning. So really love that, and I'm about halfway full with this, or half empty, however you like to see it. But I'll definitely be repurchasing this as well, and the prices are actually really reasonable. Seeing what you get, like this huge tub, and also all the active ingredients inside. Again, vegan, not tested on animals, all of that stuff. That is really important to me. So that, then I use that in conjunction with the Radiant Eye Cream. This is just super lightweight, perfect for everyday use. I use it in the morning on my eyes without fail. I think I've got like that much left. But again, I've noticed a huge difference in my skin, my fine lines. I mean, I'm not old, but I'm 30 this year. I noticed that my skin isn't as elastic as it used to be, and I can see little fine lines coming here. Not that I care about those sort of things, because I don't mind getting old and aging, but you just want to look as radiant as possible, right? But this has really been quite nourishing to my skin, and especially now that I'm filming a lot, I'm wearing like mascara on a daily basis where I never used to. I find my eyes need a little bit of a pick-me-up. And also I'm doing a lot of late nights as well, so I don't want any eye bags. But this has really sorted it out. Again, I would totally repurchase this once it runs out, because it's just brilliant. The next product that I've really been loving, and I didn't love it at first, I really disliked it, is the CeraC Pore Reducing Toner. And in my video I said, in the Hannah facial video, I said that I found it really greasy, not greasy, but really heavy and cloggy sort of thing. But I found I was using it in the wrong way. So I was using it as part of like a 5-step system, like a 5-step skincare system, and it was just making everything it just wasn't working. So one evening, a couple of weeks ago, I took my makeup off, and I thought, I'm going to use that toner. I'm going to use it as I'm just going to use it and see, how it goes. I'm just going to give it another chance. So I used it, and I thought, I don't need moisturizer after this. My skin is just it just feels super hydrated. It doesn't feel tight. It doesn't feel dry in any way. And I thought, I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to just not put anything else on and just leave it to do its thing. And I found in the morning my skin was just still really glowy, and when I used the scrub, it was just perfect. And I think that I was using it in the wrong way. So I use this as a moisturizing toner, would you believe, instead of like one of those dry outy kind of toners. So I use this as a moisturizing toner. Don't put anything else under, over, around it. I just use this after I take my makeup off in the evening when I wash my face. I just put some on a cotton round and just cleanse my face with it, and then it just dries naturally, and it's perfect. I just really love it, and I love the way that it just kind of hydrates my skin whilst I sleep. It's unlike any toner I've ever used in my whole entire life. And again, once this is gone, I'll be repurchasing. So the last product from Face Theory, and I promise you it's the last one, is this glycomide body cream. This is like a facelift for your body. Like, I don't know any other way to describe it, but I've never used such an amazing body cream before. It is phenomenal. So I have a weekly pamper in the bath on a Sunday, or maybe it's a Saturday. It depends if I'm filming either Saturday or Sunday. And I will use this because I find it's like one of those luxury products that you don't want to use every day because it's just so freaking good. And basically what it does is it's kind of like it tightens your skin, and it makes your skin like really smooth, and it just pumps your skin full of like really amazing ingredients. Like the superfood stuff that you use on your face, you use on your body as well. It's not your generic like Nivea, you know, Garnier body cream. This is like full of stuff that's gonna help with fine lines, wrinkles, anti-aging, like dark spots, all of that stuff, hyperpigmentation, all of that. And it is amazing. I honestly feel like I've got new skin on when I when I use this product, and that may sound so dramatic, but it's true, especially when I've exfoliated fully using my Frank exfoliation scrub, and I put that on afterwards. It feels like I've been born again. I've got like this new skin. It's amazing. It has a really nice scent to it as well. It's not like really overpowering or anything like that. It's just, it just smells like really clean and fresh and like classy, if you know what I mean. So that's the glycomide body cream. So it does contain 9% glycolic acid to smooth, firm and refine. So it's like a facelift for your body. It's amazing. I love it. I'll be repurchasing. So my phone has decided to come back to life, thankfully. We're going to open YouTube. Let me take my phone off of airplane mode. We don't want any notifications coming in, but we'll need to access YouTube, so we'll turn it off for now. So this ASMR artist was recommended to me by one of my long-term patrons and good friends. And I'll find a roleplay of hers, which I really like. So bear with me just a moment while I find it. Talk amongst yourselves. But this ASMR artist, I think, absolutely deserves thousands, hundreds of thousands more subs. She has 11,000 subscribers. So if you're watching this, after you've obviously seen the little clip I'm going to show you, please, please, please go and subscribe to her channel. The ASMR artist is Nebula ASMR, and some of you may have heard of her, but she's done so many different geek role plays, which I really respect. She's done an X-Files one, which I'll show you, and also I've just noticed a Blade Runner one, which I haven't actually watched yet, but let me play you a little bit of this one, which is called ASMR X-Files FBI Agent Unsolved Case, #Deep State. Alright, here we go.
Hello. Yes, you can take a seat right here. Thank you. Hi. Edward Higgins. Nice to meet you. I'm Agent Nebula. We spoke on the phone earlier this week. Well, thank you so much for coming in to meet me, and I hope to not take up too much of your time. Okay. So I know I only gave you a bit of information over the phone, but
Alright.
I'm here in Lexington.
So I really like that. And I saw a Blade Runner one.
Thank you for coming to meet me here tonight. I know that you are probably confused as to why I insisted on you coming here so urgently.
So that was Nebula ASMR, and if you haven't checked out her channel, then please, 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 please go and check it out, because I think she is just amazing. She deserves like 100,000 more subscribers, if not more, and I think she's really good at what she does, and I really enjoy her content. So please go and give her a subscribe and watch a bunch of her videos. So that brings us to the end of September's monthly favourites. I hope you have enjoyed it. Let me know if you've seen any of the films that I mentioned, and I'd love to know what you thought of them too. If you've tried out any of the products that I mentioned, if you have any other ASMR artists I should check out, then please do let me know. I would prefer ASM artists who have less than like 10,000 subscribers, or you know, ASM artists who are new or upcoming, instead of the ones that have like 100,000 plus. I'd like to share ASM artists who are just starting out. So if you have any that you like, then please let me know. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care, guys.